Hiya, boys and girls. We've got Paul Corman-Roberts who's going to read first. It's your big book.
Yeah. Currently my big book, yes.
But it
full length.
It prophesies bigger books to come.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Paul Corman-Roberts is one of the organizers of Beast Crawl, which he may clarify what I'm going to muddy up, but basically it's putting Oakland into the literary scene to have people appreciate the talent and the happening of Oakland.
Yeah, absolutely, Richard.
Alrighty. I have been a beast crawling through Oakland myself and really appreciated it. Now, this is the first that I've read of Paul Corman-Roberts, and it's an amazing book.
Yes.
It's a series of riffs that turn inside out, that flip around upon themselves, that reveal con jobs and inner con jobs and outer lies. It's a rolling thunder. So let's give him a warm welcome.
Thank you so much, Richard. That might be the greatest intro I've ever gotten. That's no kidding. Thank you so much, and thank you, Joyce, and thank you, Harold, so much. And let's do what we can to keep the Art House Gallery going. This place is amazing and deserves to continue to be served. We need to have places like this serving the poetry community. The Beast Crawl is Oakland's longest continuous literary festival. We have only really had 1 year off, 1 year where we didn't do anything, and that was in 2019. But in general, we've modeled the festival after the Lit Crawl in the Mission District, where we have, 2 years ago was our ultimate. We had 45 readings in one night in about 21 different venues. So a lot of venues, doing the math, the venues double up quite a lot of the time. We're probably going to change the structure of it, where we're not having simultaneous readings. We're going to probably do one reading at a time over the course of several weekends. But so basically we won't have everybody spread apart. We're going to have people gathered together, but still discovering those things that are good about Oakland. And it's been challenging since the quarantine to get venues to be able to stay in Oakland. Oakland's having a tough time keeping venues, but we're going to continue to fight that fight. I believe an Oaklander just walked into the room, as a matter of fact. I might know where he lives. I'm going to get right into my set. I'll read a few poems from Bone Moon Palace. I also have a copy of We Shoot Typewriters, which is the very last copy in print. The publisher, Black Lawrence Press, has just informed me that the rights to that title are going to revert back to me in January. So I might just re-release it as a self-published sort of thing, who knows. But Bone Moon Palace still going strong with Black Lawrence, and this is the second poem from that collection, Visiting, Not Saying. There will come a time when you will love me, but it will be too late, or maybe it already was. Maybe it already was too late when it was too early, or maybe you said that a long time ago. We are the damage our families build into us, slow marinated over smokes, agave shots and bloodline tragedies half buried on the beach. My father snores sweetly, a man tired of a life descending out his body, making sure to align his third eye with the center of the event horizon. Better to face up to it head first than struggle like a particle, snagged in a hungry god's teeth. Or maybe we just go home like we always do. And it's not so bad because it's home, and you're not quite home yet, because home is a place that is not on fire. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're not. Thank you. Labyrinth by night. We're all just letter carriers in a watered-down moonlight because we don't schedule shifts when the werewolves are out, banging up against the walls when we sense the onset of the undercover minotaur, all the better to complete our appointed rounds, removing outdated election propaganda and replacing those signposts and flyers with psychic junk mail deliveries and yarrow gratitude extractions, stashed in the centers of this double-down maze. But oh, snap! The engineers most certainly lied their asses off when they claimed there were no dead ends, when they said this was the only strand of time where the karma of your betrayals couldn't reach you. Therefore, there was no better time to grind your teeth into that root, killing the compulsive desire to spiral the toxic rabbit holes, making passes at you every time you sidle up to those third rails, every time you watch those beautiful lovers stand hand in hand near the tunnel's mouth as the headlight of the oncoming commuter train grows wider and brighter. You are left to wonder why you don't yearn for that same beauty. Why are you the only one who turns away from that red spectacle in the last few minutes before impact, splayed and secure on the filthy platform tiles, and when it finally feels safe to stand, there is only Denial River and its watered-down promise of freedom as an option to carry you home. And just when you thought it had been wise to cut your losses is when you realize not only has the undercover minotaur come upon you, not only has the undercover minotaur cornered you, they have maneuvered their glee-infused leer right into your face and whisper, "Good morning, goodbye, and happy fucking Christmas." And just as quickly, the undercover minotaur is riding out Denial River on their own subcurrent, and only then do you realize the undercover minotaur is the true Postmaster General of the Labyrinth by night, and they have relieved you of your delivery pouch. And you are surprised this is not as disappointing as you had imagined, even as you pick your jaw up off the asphalt, inserting it and locking it back into place as you stare wordlessly after where the true Postmaster General faded into the shadows, your sweat-drenched body drying out in what little starlight and watered-down moonlight is left to you on this wolfless night. Simple. It was Christmas. I was home visiting. Clearly down and depressed, more than usual. No job, no prospects. And my father tells me, "You just need to get yourself a girl. A simple, easygoing girlfriend who likes to party a little bit, but isn't all ambitious and just wants, keep things mellow." Maybe he feels the need to say these things because I look wound up after a call with an ex. I look at him and say, "I'm more into the bi girls, Dad." With a furrowed brow, he asks, "You mean bisexual?" And I answer, "I guess. I mean, sure, bisexual, bi-curious, bi-coastal, binary challenged, biannual, by the bi, and yes, bipolar. I appreciate your support, Pops, but honestly, the simple ones don't do it for me. I'm attracted to the difficult ones, the ones with mixed emotions and even more conflicting desires, the ones who struggle with dissociation and impulse, the ones with a flash of their eyes can unhinge my everyday orbit and send it spinning down any old tangent that cannot be predicted. Never mind the day, but an entire life trajectory can be ruined by an emotional meltdown by the by." And I remember, clear as the California sky, his shoulders slumped downward, as if fitted with a 30-pound bag of laundry. His gaze also follows to the floor, and he says, "Well, son, I'm really, really sorry to learn about that." And to his further dismay, I cackled. I think he recognized something, even though I didn't have the heart to tell him I was just kidding. Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. Good.
Here's another poem from Bone Moon Palace. Some of you might know a character around town called Fred Dodsworth.
Oh, yeah.
Man, a rabble-rouser, an agitator. Except he never runs for office. He's more likely to convince somebody to run for office and be their campaign manager. That's more Fred's deal. I went to a writing workshop, a little bit of a writing retreat he was at, and he was wearing a seersucker suit. So this is inspired by that. This is the fabric of imperialism. The fabric of imperialism is pinstriped, carnival barker, cubits gluing, sparkle McFarkle, thespian escapist cuddle puddle at the Rancho Bernardo Deluxe open mic smorgasbord. The sweetest tension, a moment of country summer held in a hidden place, held in hidden magic. And everyone wants a piece because it is so, so lovely. A surprise in every room, a birthing in every room where people foster, where people play God because the external world, because it is so nubbly. See our sucking, soul sucking, seer sucking.
Sure. Sure, you're right.
The fabric of imperialism. The title poem from Bone Moon Palace. Bone Moon Palace, that was a name, that was kind of an inside name that folks in the Fruitvale gave to a place you might have heard of called the Ghost Ship. The Ghost Ship was, the Ghost Ship, which in a lot of ways, in retrospect, was really the beginning of the end of the Oakland Renaissance, and that was happening in the teens, in my opinion. We had a couple more years of sort of deluding ourselves that everything would be okay because there was still a lot of money flowing around. That was all pre-pandemic. But really we were headed down, the hole we're in after the quarantine and pandemic is that we were still sliding down that hill prior to all of that, and it would have gotten here eventually. But they were famous for doing their open mics on the Bone Moon, the February Bone Moon, and to me it was always the Bone Moon Palace, and that's what this poem is titled. It starts walking the dog in a burned PVC morning, flooding the nostrils, an odor you have yet to connect to the thumping of metal mosquitoes hovering several blocks away. But next comes the vine chatter. Why does everything smell like smoke? Wispy tendrils of bad news. Warehouse fire last night. Coalescing tsunami breaks over 3 eyes. This is the place. This is where it happened. This is their website. Their website. An enveloping wall of poison accumulata. Alameda Coroner's Office reports preparations for a large casualty event. Helicopters for days. There is no further information. There is no further information. There is no further information. You can set your watch to the finger pointing, fingers running over a list, fingers running over names. Names you know better than to read the comments. You know better than to agree with the comments. Even when you do, there is no further. There is no further. Swipe, 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 contacts, frantically push buttons. Please text me back. Please just text. Please just text. Send. Wait. There is no. You want so badly to check out. You want so badly to disconnect. You know you cannot. Wait. And it is the third eye that always is the first to give water for the dead. You don't realize till the reservoir opens, the rest of the mirrors cannot hold the deluge. Wait, swipe, text, send. Wait, swipe, text, send. There are arms floating above a gangplank, arms in space. Come on down, one and all, come on down to 31st Avenue, y'all, for the full Bone Moon open mic family jam. The fam jam, you know what we am, a new kind of audience participation where we can be anything or anyone that we want to be. Give water for this house of yes. Give water for a demon dog turned loose on the streets of Oakland. Water for lovers lost and found. Water for screams in the wild night. Water for the sound of buckling beams. Give water for messages sent in faith. Water for a bone moon gone broke. And then give silence. The silence of dozens in a fast food parking lot becomes hallowed ground. Give blankets for the unhomed. Give food for the unfed. Give me your arms one last time. Give me your love one last time, and I'll give you mine to protect us from the coming storm as our vessel drifts off into the ocean of night. As we finally transform this broke bone moon palace, this ephemeral horde-ing into a flotilla of yes, with full audience participation, we will be anything we want to be. Text, send, text. The sun has set like it did last night, but tonight, December 3rd, 2016, is nothing like last night on the 2-6. Last night there was hope, we just hadn't realized it. There, and text received. And finally the text says, Mama, we are going to die. Mama, we love you.
Good job, good job. Good.
That was a real text that was sent by one of the victims to their parents. The death of plants in 3 acts. Act 1. When is it that spiders make webs in plants? Man, there's no right time for skipping town. You just know when that window slams open, a sounding alarm only you can hear. It has to be quick, keeping explanations to a minimum as the people you have built your life around try to wrap their heads around a world that doesn't have you in it. What about our standing lunch date? I thought maybe we'd give us another shot. No, honey, we're out of ammo now, and it's every lover for themselves in those disco abattoir that calls itself a city. I'm gonna find a nice cottage on the beach up north so you know you cannot visit because even I don't know where it is yet. Act 2. Why would you hold a tooth in your palm while teaching a class? Once when I was studying for the role of a grave robber in a play, I needed to learn how to use a butterfly knife, the precursor to the switchblade. The butterfly knife was the scourge of early Victorian times, the AR-15 of its day, making it far too easy for the criminal element to unleash a reign of lawlessness upon everyday working folk. One has to hold a butterfly knife loose in the palm, not in the center, almost falling off of the hand, with the blade latch unhooked, and then a deft circular movement of the wrist as the blade flies open. And as the blade flies open, the handle settles fully into the palm. In theory, this is poetry in motion, the instrument of death and chaos, easily accessed and seeming to appear from nowhere. In practice, it's best to have band-aids on hand. Act 3. How do you process the death of your plants? Well, you get out your juju grouch bag and fondle the lucky stones therein. Hold them over a freshly lit candle and hum the name of your lost family members. Shady Wollstonecraft, Atticus, Sneaky, Esmeralda, Ouchie Fingers. All while rolling the quartz and obsidian between your fingers. Deep down, you know they are too good for the compost pile. But what is your alternative? The landfill garbage container? The recycling bin? Yes, the recycling bin. If I put my babies into the recycling bin, perhaps they will reincarnate as a well-intentioned nonprofit organization somewhere in the rough part of town, and we'll be able to visit with one another once again. Ooh, it's warm up here. It's the humidity. Ghosting the Bronze Age, Ghosting the Bronze Age Sky Daddy's ego war. The reason I sing so very badly is because this insidious firestorm you lit on the edge of my naked kindling, this maelstrom of licking tongues cannot fit into the forest of my body. Seeing how much of this flaming accursed bloodline inside you came also from me, the furious percussion in my ears, this industrialized killing floor which never diminishes no matter how much I gorge upon its everything. And this is why I write you poems. This is why there is an unnatural joy that gushes out of me, even as I see how you hold my very existence in the fangs of a paperclip held in the tips of your comically art-installed fingers. The love of a lifetime is a weapon that is all blade, all atmospheric pressure, all a landscape of nettles everywhere, incomplete, gorgeous, and soul-crushing, but I am not for 1 minute deterred by how many rows of teeth are layered upon each other in the diaspora of your mouth, whose smile blinds me with a pleasure I am only just learning how to give a name to. You erase the entire meaning of the word enemy from my awareness. I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I'll write it in the froth on the surface of every ocean, in every world splayed out, in every cloud, on every planet, all over your faded tats with a freshly procured Sharpie. And if you never see me for the rest of this pained plane, you will know, because I will steal every poem ever written, because you love poetry, and you won't be able to ignore it, even though it can never be like this between us again.
Yeah. Say the title again, Paul. Say that title again, please.
Ghosting the Bronze Age Sky Daddy's Ego War. Gone too far, Paul. You've gone too far once again. I've been hearing that a lot lately. Isn't that distance going too far? Yes, censor me, remove me from the airwaves or something like that. Can't tell. I think this is my last poem. You will always have poetry. After Bob Kaufman by way of Neil Tchaikovsky. If you can find a way to escape the people who don't have poetry, the people who carry the shackles, the people who shackle your body, the people who monetize your body, the people whose God tells them to shackle and monetize your body, the people whose God tells them it's okay to shackle and monetize your body because you're no better than an animal, the people whose God assures them you're worse than an animal. If you can find a way to escape, to get beyond the walls, if we can find a way to get over, under, through the cages set by the people who don't have poetry, if you could just make it down to the next river valley, I promise you, there is another America. If you can just get down to the next river, you will find an underground railroad, America. You will find the strong, outstretched hand of a beautiful woman named Harriet, pulling you into a boat, America, pulling you into a car, America, pulling you into sanctuary, America. Do it. Take that dark, weathered hand. I'm not saying it will be easy to get there or obvious. I will always advise you need to watch your back. Nothing is easy in this land. But if you can get there, down by the shore, you will find poetry. You will find the people who will not silence you, who will ask if you need something, who are kind, who will listen to you, who will feed you and shelter you and try to get you back to the family you have lost. You will have poetry, and no one will ever be able to take that away. Thank you, Poetry Flash. Thank you. Grace, appreciate it very much.
Corman-Roberts.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, now it's time for Bruce Isaacson.
Woo!
Porpoisefully wrong. I know Bruce for a long time, beginning with Babar, which was a very special hellish inner sanctum. But it was a key moment in spoken word. And it appears in this book through elegies. Bruce is, I think, a very special guy. He's made poetry wherever he's been, which is basically two places. At Babar, when he was a coordinator, began Zeitgeist Press, and then Las Vegas, where he had to go to support his then family. And he became the first poet laureate of Clark County, which encompasses Vegas. He brought poets out there like Michael McClure and Alicia Ostreicher. And that was a Zoom reading, I guess. But he is a special poet, and this book takes us through hard times, heart blockage, ends of marriages, but it keeps keeping on. There's hope, there's a drive, which is the drive of poetry. So let's give him a warm welcome. Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here. So glad to see you all. I just want to say I love this book. I didn't have it before we scheduled this reading. I bought the book. I love the book, and not only I love the last poem you read, which has all the promise of Langston Hughes's. It's a Langston Hughes America too, and I also love the one waiting room.
Yeah.
And so I just want to say, like, it's really a privilege to be here with you. It's a privilege to be reading in Oakland, my hometown. I went to grammar school here.
This is technically
Berkeley.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I'm on the border, right on the border.
over there. It's
Oh,
right
okay.
over there.
But we're in Berkeley. Okay.
Yeah.
It's I just think of Oakland because Paul has
Yeah.
got the beast crawl. So, but
I
we're
just-
in Berkeley
I
and
just,
Oakland.
I just know on the other side of that line, nukes are allowed and nukes are not allowed on this
Okay,
side.
okay. Well, I've got a lot of Berkeley stuff going on in the poems I'm going to read, so I think that's okay.
Sure.
But I'm going to start because Richie, I don't want to. This stupid thing won't. It's supposed to tell me how long I'm reading, and hopefully I'm just going to have to rely on the. So I think I was going to start with something like funny and stuff, and I had a weird idea, but now I think I'm going to change and do this one. Because Richie talked about like being in purpose, trying to keep your purpose. And it's hard in life to keep a purpose. It's hard to, it's hard. So anyhow, this is the last poem in the book, and this kind of gave me my purpose, or expresses mine. It's called Uses for Inversions of Porpoise. America doesn't grow, it just keeps getting bigger. But after my lifetime of largesse, maybe it's time to consider getting smaller. To hope against hope again, hoping to reduce my mass. Like a black hole, hoping for infinite gravity, hoping light will bend, passing by. Not love, not again, not likely. Just something to warm my planet, like a new green jacket, furry and zipped, size small. 158 pounds, November 9, 2024. I consider the bulk of the world about me as I stay still in my place. No orbit, no travels. Humbly, I need to stay close to a bathroom. Eschew the largesse of the kitchen. No butter, no beef, no bread, no sugar, no cream, no big plans of the future beyond this. Stay small. Stay aware. Keep the eyes darting. Keep the brain machinating like a hamster wheel. Keep flexible flexing. Keep light on the feet. Head in the air. Stand straight. Square up. Chance everything. Spill nothing. The cacocracy can careen. The regular can fall out of order. The truth will surprise us, so stay steady, stay ready, stay put. In my periwinkle corner of belief, tautology has taught me, believe your beliefs, love who you love. The rest is just carnival. It's a whirligig, a surly dig. Yours is not theirs. Use empathy and feeling and every piece of heart you have to stay put. Stand straight. Hear the call. Believe hard. And stay small.
Yes.
Okay, so that's my future for getting through this, what we're all going through together,
Yeah.
which is horrible. But we're here, and now I'm going to do this. This is a longer poem, and you know, it's kind of for the young poets. In Vegas, we have a festival there. I'm going to digress. We have a festival there called Life is Shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm not kidding. It really is, and it's based on a festival. There was a festival called Life is Beautiful, which was funded by a billionaire, and it was so expensive to go to. None of the locals, nobody could go there.
Oh my God.
Life is Beautiful. So we started this festival called Life is Shit. Punk bands playing for free, and poets in between the punk bands.
Nice.
And I read this poem to a lot of them, and you know, it really had an impact on the younger poets, I think. I hope. This is called For the Makers. But it's actually a poem under the influence of D.A. Levy. I don't know how many of you know the poetry of D.A. Levy, and it's got a moniker. Do you? Oh, good. Okay, good. It's got a moniker, and the moniker is Timor Mortis Conturbat Me. And that's from William Dunbar from 1505. It means fear of death confounds me. Darrell Allen Levy was a Cleveland poet who started the Mimeo publishing revolution. He became a national literary cause célèbre when jailed, prosecuted, and coerced to plead guilty to charges from his 1960s influence on the son of a prominent citizen. He died in 1968 from a gunshot wound to the head. His death was ruled a suicide. Levy, what happened to you sucks. Shouldn't in a free country. We're barely a free country, except in storybooks. A young poet should be able to resist, like you, the clarion calls: money, fame, war, conformity. If you, poet, want to say something objectionable, say it. Then listen to the objection. Because now the ACLU does advocacy, the elephant has internment camps, the one I loved couldn't stand me, so America, don't tell us to grow up. We're already so carefully grown, we might as well be a tie stick. America, we're interned in your little plastic bag of hermetically sealed dissent. The scent of feelings through the vacuum seal. No, I don't want the even-tempered threats of supervisors. Give me the one who sometimes blurts out, "Fuck you." I want to know where I stand. And by the way, Vespucci, fuck you. Say it with me, America. Your jobs barely pay the rent. Your titillations barely get me hard. Your politics solves nothing. Your ideals clog my gut like JFKFC. I'm filled of your TV commercials pitched by fresh-faced angels. We want our own angels. We want a future that doesn't end in suicide. We want love that doesn't end in heartbreak. We want friends without betrayal. She's been beautiful in a madhouse 20 years. I love her. Sometimes she can't stop screaming, but her poetry's saner than a city council.
Yeah.
To talk about the outcasts of America is talking about sentient America. If poets won't say what they feel, what good are they? What good the finely distilled verse? What good the well-honed images, calculus not to offend? What good the grammatical innovations we can't understand? At 5, my son used to call it lake meat. Now he's grown. We've pasteurized that beauty right out of him. What good the bum's rush for academic position, the talking head interviews, the publish or perish pillow fight, while African babies starve, flies walking on faces on TV ads in America. America, your opinions run the gamut like RFKKK. Don't say you'll lose your job that almost makes rent. Hell, if I'm going to perish soon enough anyway, I'll do it saying what the fuck I want.
Yeah.
You can tell me to grow up. You can tell me to get mentally corrected. You can tell me about meaningful dialogue while exploding bombs in Iran, while protecting babies dead in the womb, while sending out the cops in a bipolar fit. Any now, we're all bipolar. Left and right, police and inmates, from divine average worker to Senator Kennebunk, Shreveport, Palookaville. We're all Palookas now.
Yeah.
Mora in a madhouse in Ojai to old Grump on the stump in Ohio. We all want to tear it down, to turn love into a trick. We're cannibal Clevelands now, eating our levees. The artist suicided by society seems the last rational voice, the only one telling any truth. I'm 40 years in poetry. I've paired with more beauty than I can do justice to. But today I am here to resist. Poets, a new slant to Timor mortis conturbat me. Poets, don't let yourself be ruined. Don't kill yourself by injection. Don't let yourself die by cigarettes, boy bags, Bloody Marys, sloth, isolation, ballwanger, sex on the unprotected beach, methamphetamine, housefrau in a flophouse. Even cockroaches are stronger than my generation of Americans. Timor mortis conturbat me. Did we give up 200 years of freedom for peeves? I'm asking you, D.A. Levy, don't die. Don't be found hanging in your cell, Eric Walker. Hang in there and fight. Write your beautiful life out like Kathleen, marooned in Laguna Honda. Write a book great as testimony. Then help Maura O'Connor, who never recovered, finding David Lerner dead, the work still in his arm. Don't let that become you, poet. Search the heavens for reason. Search the earth for solutions. Search your life to love, write, feel, publish. Make your books free, but make them available. Don't fall out of print. Don't die again, D.A. Levy. Hang in there. Fight.
Yeah.
So now you see, Paul, you can say anything because I've already totally
paved
ruined
the way,
myself
Dan. Yeah.
by saying all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's the way I feel.
Your machete is much bloodied, sir.
My machete is got my own blood on it. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's fine too. Okay, so now I'm going to read. Let's see, 1, 2. Okay, now I'm going to read this poem. This is from this new book. I'm going to give one to Paul too because it's his birthday. Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Okay, this is my personal Red Dawn. This is Las Vegas. I ride my bike in Red Rock National Park.
It's so gorgeous.
It's beautiful, and I'm out there 3 times a week trying to stay alive.
Valley of Fire, too.
I can't ride in Valley of Fire because it's too far from my house.
It's 60
But I
miles
could
away.
road trip there. You're right. My personal Red Dawn. Arguing with customer service from AT&T, and suddenly I'm Karen. They won't make the change promised. It's costing hundreds of dollars I don't have. I step right out of my body to hear myself asking for a supervisor. No question about it. You live in this economy, you buy it, it's okay. They go to work making it crummy. and shittification. That's what the tech theorists actually call the new product life cycle. My dad started a company in the 60s that was all about customer service, but he lost it, went out of business. And shittification. Karen. Raised by loving parents who lived in a big house, lost it, struggled, got another one, went BK, then died of the Great Recession. I got known as a poet, driving the Oakland poets to SF for the reading in my junior exec Mercedes, all razzing and joking and having so much fun it had to be illegal. One called me Les Petites Bourgeoisie. We laughed about the comrade in the Mercedes. How could I be a communist? Today I'm Karen, so conditioned young, I can't stop trying to make money and failing. How could I be a communist? Went to Russia, 92, lived native Leningrad with Russian wife, 2 kids, a non-partisan poodle, and babushka, hero, siege of Leningrad. We lived on the concrete slab of a 2nd-story apartment, pet poop rotting in the stairwell, inside already ruined rugs, tossed down food lines, hunger, state stores. We use my dollars to buy spam in the illegal market. I love outlaw spam. How could I be a communist? All that red scaring, name naming, bear baiting, bullshit, union busting, simulacra Americana, we just fed those kids, whom I love. I got known at Mayakovsky Metro as Papa Americanitz. My wife had me stand in the station giving away our magazine called Durak. Durak, roughly dumb shit. Imagine me, long hair, dirty jeans, handing out dumb shit at Mayakovsky Metro. How could I be a communist? I was happy to have dollars for spam. Less happy when I got cheated converting them on Nevsky Prospect. Wanted to confront the guy. She said, "No, you'll get knifed." Durak. Hey, I graduated from a business school. How could I be a communist? I keep failing to make money in America. I keep believing in halos of hope. I keep barely making my living, half a step ahead of credit cards, the student loan servicer, the COVID loan collector, the NEA auditor. I keep reading and writing and making books. I keep alive by the bent knee of money, standing by the hoarse heart of wealth. I dream a halo I can't see or reach, and is probably a myth. I keep wanting a life where everyone has medicine, where no one is bullied. I keep wanting Christ without believing in the least. I see how America treats her poor, but keep faith that Lady Liberty will be just. I believe that time will arrive, even as I feel Adam Smith's invisible hand rifling my pocket, sometimes pinching my butt. I can't tell if that hand is white or black, Christian or Jew, gay or straight, but I'm pretty sure it's wearing a Rolex. Does this make me a communist? I don't know. We'll see. Like I'm out there. Like I know I'm out there. Like I'm at that point in life. I'm so, going into my 8th decade, and it's like I'm gonna say what I mean to say.
You've gone rogue, man.
Here's a yeah. We should all be able to. This is the last poem. I hope I kept her.
You can do another.
Well, let's do
that.
Let me let you hear this one, and then you can decide. Maybe you'll change your mind. Okay. So this is like.
There's a second set at 10 o'clock.
This is but this is like. This is different. I've never written a poem quite like this, but This poem is about my life and what it means to be a San Francisco poet, what it was like in the 80s. You'll appreciate this because I think it gives you a feeling of what it's like, what it was like. This poem is called Sometimes You Meet Someone. And it's my version of explaining the ways of man to God. If Milton was explaining the ways of God to man, I'll settle for just being able to explain my ways to some omniscient. My gay and trans friends don't always understand how I look so straight and male, but hold sympathy for what it means to be sex-marooned, outcast, alone. My dad was conventional as it gets. Apostate, Jew business, house rising. I am the eldest son, born to drive the family to the promised land. Sent to all conservative schools. He started with baseball and Boy Scouts, but he wasn't some remote asshole dad, shoving me out with violence and homo slurs. He drove me to Scouts and stayed for meetings. He coached the baseball team, put me third in the lineup. Here's the thing. I was terrible at it. A few hits at the beginning, then struck out and struck out and struck. I loved that baseball team. Knew I was doing them wrong. 10 years old, my dad's the coach. I try to quit. Scouts turns into randy boys, no girls, sleepovers. I want to be different than I am. Try again high school baseball. I'm still terrible at it. It's 1970s, Berkeley. What I'm good at is reading and writing and getting stoned. Stoned on pot every day. And mescaline, peyote, LSD, at least 50 acid trips by 15.
Impressive.
It's the 70s, so the whole school's divided between stoners and jocks. I choose stoners. Cultivate social position with the fuck-ups. I love playing pinball at the hot dog shack. I love doing head rushes till we pass out on the field at lunch. I love the insights that come with Owsley, a theory of life structured to avoid seeing death. I love smoking in the boys' can. Wow, I love those guys, even when they handcuff me to the urinal. But after watching Lady Sings the Blues on acid, after Mike Costy's rush to emergency, I drive home to sweat out the strychnine alone. Yeah. After all night bad trip seeing mom and dad as pixies dancing on the ceiling. After I get busted for acid, at the morning confrontation with dad, I tell him I just want to be his son. In all the fucked up things I do in youth, he never once put hands on me in anger. That day, he hugged me. Advance ahead 20 years. I've graduated from an Ivy League school. I've been married 4 months, then divorced. I've been a big deal business go-getter. I've been in charge of $50 million of computer time-sharing revenue, just as PCs start getting big. Now that $50 million ego is as good as being chained to the urinal in the boys' camp. I leave computers to go work with Dad. I am serious and dour, and I haven't had a lover in 8 years. I want to be seen as a success, but what I am is dumpy, selfish, protected accountant who's learned to do what he's told. One day my grandfather dies. I remember loving Steinbeck and Hemingway and write a poem called 10 Rounds with the Champ. The champ is God, and I am KO'd in the 5th. The poem takes me to a reading in North Beach, where I meet Julia, who galumphs over to say she liked my poem. Now, Julia takes shit from the poets. Despite Iowa MFA, she looks like a street person. It's said she's never had a lover. The Babar readings by the Castro. Gay revolution bursting all around. Everyone's having so much fun. Trans performers belting show tunes from a balcony, writing, film, plays full of camp and spirit, and then suddenly AIDS. And then suddenly death. And then suddenly it's dangerous again to be who you are. Now Julia lives her life totally chaste. Due to polio and art, she is chaste, not of heart, but of body. This makes her unique. Of all those poems written in this era about what it means to be sexually different, Julia's a minority of one. She's famous as a poet and teaching me. A body morph, I start working out, losing weight, having lovers. I'm still a selfish pig, but sometimes you meet someone and everything changes. Julia introduces me to Danielle. She just flipped out of Barnard. Danielle is strong-willed, sex-omnivore lesbian who loves men in drag. Danielle's, at heart, a dominator. Danielle and I become close. Danielle moves into my spare room. With glee, Danielle will tell any man what to do. She does, and I do it. I start wearing eyeliner to the reading, grow my hair to my shoulders. My misspent youth doing drugs in Berkeley comes back as gift. I know how to look weird and dangerous, and Danielle likes this, and this makes me popular among the poets. The apostate businessman, the pillar of assholeules, the comrade in the Mercedes, publisher to the freak scene, a creep having more fun than's allowed. Danielle tells me what to do. She puts black plastic porno on the telly, and we each jerk off. In the same room, but not together. We're not together. She has a boyfriend named Dish, a Vietnam vet who wears wig. I'm a little too beefy to become too fey. So she does me up like a glam rock druggie, like riffraff of Rocky Horror. Eyeliner, mascara, long hair dyed black, a black net hat that's distinctly Middle Eastern, worn like a scarf, with cheap imitation Roman coins that hang down as earrings, with black lipstick and all sallow makeup. The headpiece imitates Jambi from Pee-wee's Playhouse. Add a suit coat made of leather, torn at the seams, dirty black jeans and boots, black leather boots with silver stars all over them. This becomes known as Bruce drag. Suddenly, we're stars of the poetry scene. Danielle, child of a famed UChicago economist, her professional world's evolving from poodle groomer to stripper to public dominatrix to legendary working girl who beat up Artie Mitchell, the performance artist hired as a stripper who strapped one on and butt-fucked an American Indian artist boy at a party for SF's political elite. Mayor, supervisors, Willie Brown couldn't get out of there fast enough. She went from vampire novel to posting video of her actual drinking of blood, surgically implanted fangs, till finally she couldn't live in her legend. But that's later. Now we're toast of the SF art scene. Add travels to New York and LA, Danielle Hell with Jambi Bruce behind her. Every week's evolution makes us a little more unique. a little more anti-middle class. We're too weird for City Lights tourists who stop and stare. Too weird for the communists of North Beach. Too weird for the booth man taking toll across the Bay Bridge for the reading. We're not too weird for Frank the dealing doorman with Hell's Angels connections. He will teach me what to do with baking soda, flame, and cocaine. We're a little much for the neighborhood Thai restaurant, as if proving to immigrants that entitled America's too fucked up to breathe. Out to dinner in full zombie drag before the reading, we run into my father's personal secretary, Rosella,
Nice.
who sits silently across the room staring at my eyeliner, black lipstick, at Danielle's leopard spot stripper coat and spandex so tight she wants them to see her labia. Rosella had always thought me an entitled punk kid. I didn't like her much either. I knew she'd tell him, was sure she'd tell him. And do you know what he did? He did nothing. Nothing. He pretended it didn't happen. His idea of gay would be to make laugh of men holding hands. He was so narrow, it hurt. Hurt him, hurt me. No doubt he felt humiliated. But when you don't know what to do, sometimes best do nothing. He kept his relationship with his son. For years, he helps me become whoever I want to be. To love is to disappoint. And be disappointed. It's very real. Not everyone has heart for it. I'm sure I disappointed Danielle, but loved her too. I'm still loyal to who we were. Later, she trades me in, moves out, moves on. Despite our holy vow to do heroin only together, I never did. She became a multi-decade heroin addict with a big mean dog, which she used to intimidate me twice. I heard later she had real tragedy in her life. But life's on to the next asshole anyway. Job, marriage, career, just one more drag we pull on and off for the day. We're each just one particularity in an eternal string of need and error and vain attempts to fit in a culture that's got us each chained to a urinal. Even when they let you go, affection and friendship just mean pain becomes less sharp, closer to the heart. We each get to be who we are. That's a privilege and a curse. If I could speak to him today, that writer boy testing his limits, that Bruce in his zombie drag, or that incel of no sex for 8 years, who thought he'd finally arrived when one day the sweetest love came to him in a San Francisco bathhouse, easily, without fanfare, I'd tell him, protect what's softest, bestest inside you. I'd say, I believe in you, in all of you. I'd say, let the making of art guide you. We hold and mold our life in our hands. To grow into the self is our privilege and our prison. Danielle and I haven't spoken for 30 years. But sometimes you meet someone and then everything's different. To become an unbroken human is a clown car of pathos and bathos, of sympathy and humor. I got to hold Dad's hand as he lay curled in a ball in damp sheets, dying. In a Medicare nursing home, too, I held Julia's hand before she. There is no escape, but to find and grow into what we are.
Yeah.
That's it.
Woo!
And that's it. Thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday.